And you work with some, with all these agents that you're working with, well,
Yeah.
what are some characteristics you see? Like, man, I see this pattern all the time. Like these agents that are high performers, that are absolute beasts, sales wise or building business wise. Like, what are some of the characteristics that you see the most?
Yeah, I noticed that they're coachable. They want to learn constantly, right? They want to consistently learn every single day. They
Right,
know they can learn something from anybody and they're open to it, right?
right.
They also have some type of mentor in their life that they can learn specifically from. Someone that they can learn what they've done. They can take the blueprints of success and they can apply them to themselves, right? The mentor piece. Most people struggle with, they think they know it all. Ego gets in the way. They don't want to learn. They don't have
Mm-hmm,
a mentor because that's cheesy. I don't need goals or a mentor or someone to tell me what to do or someone to help me. I got it all, right? I got it.
mm-hmm.
And then the third is they invest in themselves.
Right.
They invest in themselves all the time. You know what I mean? Like we're putting on a 1% mastermind in Scottsdale that I'm going to invite you to, that
Oh,
we're going to
wow.
bring 50 top money earners, top leaders from the industry to come and network together for 4 days. And the ideas, the relationships, the partnerships, the knowledge, the tools, you pick up an idea in an elevator that's like freaking life-changing, like those kind of moments. Are insane. So that's what we're doing, like the 1% Mastermind, the 8% Nation Conference. I do a weekly accountability call for agents every single week. Most people don't invest in themselves. They think it's weird to spend money on making themselves better. Between this is true, by the way, between retreats, conferences, events, boot camps, coaches, sales training, universities, et cetera, I guarantee you I've spent in excess of $300,000
Oh,
investing,
on other people's
investing,
training.
investing in me,
Right.
exactly,
Okay, okay.
from other people, just
Gotcha.
in me, pouring into me. And I bet I've invested that over the last 30 months.
Oh, wow.
And if you look, everything started to change early 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I finally pulled out my credit card and invested 15 grand to change me. And it makes you think bigger. It pulls you in a direction. When you get around big time people, success people, it lifts you up. It
Mm-hmm.
energizes me when I get to hang out with you, dude. I leave all freaking jacked up, and something starts to shift. Something starts to change.
And when you speak investment, you always want to think what you get back in return. But if you think about the money you spend, but tell us a little bit about what has you gotten back from that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I've got specific things. So like I
More than
have.
what you spend, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, I've paid business coaches 30 grand. I've paid, I've paid marketing coaches. I've paid just to go to one specific conference. I bet I've spent 100 grand the last 3 years. Last 2.5 years, it's been 3 events.
Wow.
I'm constantly investing, but what I'm looking for, I'm not even looking for like a monetary immediate return, because
Right.
if you go into it, most people, their favorite radio station is WIIFM. What's in it for me? Well, most people think too short term. I want to think what's in it for me, but I want to think long term, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, our brand has been lifted because of all the things we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some people that's allowed me to be on stages and speak and be on podcasts, everything else that I probably shouldn't be on, right? I've also taken away relationships from a networking aspect. Most people think, networking is cheesy, but man, networking is where it's at, dude. Like the relationships I have in the industry are deep, they're incredible, and you can tell, like I try to be active with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, and then I also have specific nuggets of ideas. Somebody says one word and it makes me think of something that I'm going to do. Like we were on doing a Medicare panel the other day with just like 6 of us on video, talking live, just hanging out. Someone said something that made me think about something else that I'm going to make 50 grand off of that idea this year. Just
Yeah.
because somebody said something when I was hanging out with them, So that's what I look for. Like it makes me think on a different level as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, it's crazy whenever these like game-changing ideas come from. You just never know.
Oh,
But if you're always like actively looking and thinking and um, working with other agents and just if you're always your mind's going,
yeah.
I've had those moments too.
Yes, dude, you seem like an idea man. You seem like you have some like ideas popping up in your head like crazy because I do too, man. It's just
Hmm.
like not. It's like all day, every day. I'm like some of them I got to put in a parking lot, because
Yeah,
I can't do them all.
you just have to write it
But
down and to kind of like go through and see which one wins. But
yes,
yeah, when it comes to when you said coaching and mentorship, investing, I think one of the things that totally makes sense is that the humility, because when you have the ego, that becomes the enemy, and that's really when you don't. Well, I don't need the coaching,
yeah,
I got to figure it out, like you said, and that's really something that I strongly believe in too. Like the real successful ones, the ones that take to the next level, are the ones that want to invest the money, they want to keep learning, and they feel like they haven't figured it out yet.
yeah,
Which I feel like we still have a lot more to get done.
for sure.
So,
It elevates my brain and I learn stuff every time I do it, man. Every time I invest.
what are some things that you asked me this question as far as numbers wise that you're proud of, as far as to look back, a decade
Yeah,
in, numbers wise, it does, it could be monetary, it could be staff wise, or it could be like, I mean, the subscriber count is amazing to me because that,
sure.
in the insurance game, I think there's no channel that's doing that kind of, training and, but what are some things right now you could say that, hey, I'm pretty proud to share?
Um, I mean, something pretty private, I guess, that since you ask is a great question to lead into. This next year, with everything we have going on, um, there's no doubt our total company revenue will be in the eight figures. No question about it.
Wow. So you're thinking about doubling then?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Always, right? I'm always thinking about, okay, how do I double everything we're doing
Love
I
that.
would love to double everything every 90 days.
Mhm.
Sometimes once it's a big enough number, um, it becomes a lot more difficult.
The power of thinking big. I feel like, and I don't want to. Sometimes um, with maybe I don't want to say but maybe some with farmers agents there we may struggle with that a little bit.
Yep.
The power of thinking big. What is the unlock? What is the aha moment that got you to that point? And what are some advice you could give to other agents that doing well? We're happy. We have a great lifestyle. Maybe we're very blessed. But what is it that
Yep.
we need to do to take it to the next level? You think?
Yeah. I think exposure and environment
Mm,
motivates me, right?
right.
Exposure to people, places, and things, to new things, right? Having a new environment that levels me up, that makes me think on a different level. Because I mean, there's going to be a lot of farmers agents that watch this, which is incredible, and I'm blessed and honored to be the first non-farmers agent on here. And I love farmers, by the way. Okay, I really do. What I want to add though is, do you want to be the 32nd ranked farmers agency in the country? Why don't we think about being the 32nd ranked agency in the world, the number one farmer's agent, the number one farmer's agent by 10x, right? Like
There you go.
how do we start to challenge ourselves? Like when I get bored and complacent and lazy, it's because I don't have something challenging me. So what I do when I lose momentum, when I lose motivation, right? When my mindset starts to slip, what I do is I put a target out in the near future that is big enough to challenge me to go hit it, to go get it. That's the reason we started throwing the 8% Nation conference back in 2018, because for me, I need stuff to pull me forward constantly. And so we just came up with the 1% mastermind idea literally last week. No joke, last week. And we're going to roll it out publicly this Friday. And it's going to fill up within a matter of a couple weeks, right? And it's because I know what that getting around big time people has done for me, and I know what it'll do for others. And farmers agents need to start to think about, how do I get exposure to new people's places and things, and how do I increase my environment and get around some amazing people doing some big things. And I'm telling you, it'll start to level you up. It'll start to challenge you. It's getting me jacked up just thinking about it, man. It just, you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
starts to flow. It does.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's the exposure is so important. And then the goals have to be exciting enough.
Yes.
like you said, challenging, but if it's like, man, if that could happen, I'll be so excited. Then you'll go, like you said, you'll do whatever it takes because you're so excited about that goal. So that
Yeah.
the goal being big enough is important, I feel like,
Yep.
to
I
keep
mean, so
going.
if there's a farmer's agency out there that's doing, I mean, what's a good number? $250,000 a year in commissions or what?
Yeah, that's definitely above average.
Okay. So say two, and then this, it's sad that that is above average, but we're going to use it anyway. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah,
It
I would
probably
say
is
so.
though, right? But let's just say 250 grand in commissions per year for an agency. The goal shouldn't be to get to 300, right? Because an extra 4 grand a month, $1,000 a week in commissions is not going to motivate me.
It's not
It's not
exciting
going
enough.
to pull me, right?
Yep.
So why not? When I say I want to get to 500,000 in commissions in literally 12 months,
Your life will change.
my life will change. It'll make me. It also the bigger I think, the more the creativity starts to flow.
And
The
the
more
more,
the ideas
yep.
start to show up, right? And then I've got to think, okay, how do I make that a reality? If it was possible, how would I do it, right? And you kind of start to back up and start to break down the numbers and think, okay, well, I've got 2 salespeople. To do that, I would probably need 6. Okay, now we know one thing we got to do. We got to hire 4 more, right? Okay, so then what are some other things we need to do, right? I got to elevate my marketing budget, right? And you start investing more. You start thinking a little bigger, and I'm telling you, a lot of farmers agents just they think a little too small, like we all do. And if we just thought a little bigger, and if we challenge ourselves a little more, we raise the bar a little higher, it will force us. Because I truly believe I could get into your space. I could go, I'll open up a farmer's agency, put me in freaking Maine. I don't care. And I truly believe that I can go from 0 to which is above average, $250,000 in commissions, year 1.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I love the idea of just kind of like having a target and working your way backwards, the reverse engineering that part. So setting that goal, you really could figure everything out. And I love that creativity part too. I totally get what you're talking about there.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. If you want to make $221,520 next year in 2021, I'm going to show you the 7 steps that you need to master. The 7 things you need to grow at, the 7 things you need to absolutely get great at, and I'm going to go over them right now.